When it comes to updating the manuscript of your novel, how long does it take for that turnover to happen inside of the book distributors and printer platforms? This is something we need to talk about because it is not exactly what you think. Yes, you do have the ability to update your manuscript if you need to change back matter or if you have issues that you need to be updating inside of your book. You absolutely can do that, but there's usually some pretty big hangups. Now, in general, this can take anywhere from immediately to a couple of days or weeks for it to go and transfer over inside of the system. However, we don't recommend you do this ever, because there are so many issues with it. We know with the book distributors and printers, they are just a disaster waiting to happen when it comes to changing up your manuscripts. A lot of people will put in a dummy manuscript file, or they will decide to update back matter later, or, if they didn't edit properly and they have to fix things later, we will see people updating those manuscripts. And again, we can physically do this. They give us permission to do this. Sometimes you have to pay to do this, depending on which printer you're with. The problem is, these companies have many tech issues. I've seen it over and over and over again with my manuscripts, with other people's manuscripts, people that I've worked with. It's just a continual basis of them messing this up. Yes, they'll fix it, but how long will it stick? I have had books where I've updated the back matter, I've updated other things, and they are fixed inside of the system, but they're printing the wrong things. In fact, I've even had things revert to the original versions of the manuscript that I posted from years ago that have been updated and they have been printing out the old versions of the book for people. My fans are constantly showing me things that are not correct inside of my book, correct for anymore. So if you are going to be creating a book, you should be 100% done and ready to go with your manuscript. No potential changes needed. You want to make sure it is elite, the top of the line, the best that you can do, because whatever manuscript you put in first is likely going to be sent out to people well after the fact, even if you update it in the future. We do not want you to be in a situation where you are having to deal with misprints or issues or problems. We don't want that, and we just keep seeing it again and again and again. Sometimes they get it right. Usually they get it wrong. And so even when we've reached out to these publishers, to these distributors, to the book printers, they say, oh, well, it is what it is. It's the current one. And they say that there's no problem. And no matter how much you push, no matter how many phone calls you sit through, they're not going to fix it. They're not going to acknowledge that there was an issue. It's all going to come back on you. And we don't want that to happen. So can you? Yes. Will it take a minute? Yes. Should you be doing this? Absolutely not under any circumstances. Fix yourself before you wreck yourself when it comes to this, because it's just never going to work in our favor, and you just have to assume it's always going to be a problem, so you have to make sure you do the heavy lifting before you publish that manuscript in whatever form it happens to be published in, and then be mindful of it, and even when you find it, you're probably not going to be able to get it fixed with them. So know that going in, and if you've got questions on any of this, go ahead and drop it down below. But we don't want you to get caught in a bad situation simply because you've been getting bad advice from people or because you are allowed to do something with the book distributors. Doesn't mean it's going to work in your favor. Hit that subscribe and notification bell because every single day we're dropping brand new videos to help you level up inside of the publishing world so you can make more money and have your best year ever. We'll see you in the next episode.